You know what I found? I mean, I'm a biblical scholar and I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Personally, there's an excitement to it. There's a gratification to it, but then not being able to teach other people is just great. I am not anti-education. Even the highbrowed stuff has some purpose. But see, that's the key, because what happens is you walk into a seminary class and you look at the required reading list, and it's very rare. Seminary professors, if anybody listening to this, you want to challenge this, go ahead, because I'm going to ask you for real examples. It's very rare to be able to translate that 2,000 pages that they had to read to very specific uses. In other words, that you as a professor train your students. You tell your students, here's why you read this, because you're going to get these 3 questions. And this paragraph over here on page 20 that you just thought was just, why am I doing this? Well, I'm going to show you why it's important for you to know that, because you're going to use that to answer this question over here. If we just geared seminary instruction in all areas, all field disciplines, to addressing specific questions, we could cut the reading amount probably by 70%, and we could have people, we could teach them what they need to know as pastors, and then where they're going to use that. Here are the 100 things. And I know guys that actually approach seminary as students like this, and they got a lot out of it because they thought, look, I'm going to go into seminary, and my roommate in college made a list. These are the 50 questions I have right now that I want answered by the time I graduate. And they could do that because they knew if I have them, other people have them, and I'm going to get asked these questions as a pastor. So they went into their classes not caring about a grade. They wanted that question answered.
Yeah.
And if we taught that way, nobody, when they graduate, from this institution, this degree program, whatever, is going to fail to be exposed to these 100 questions. These are the 100 things that you need to know, because odds are this is going to come up in some sort of question from a person in the congregation. People are going to see something on YouTube and they're going to have a question. Did Jesus ever live? What about zeitgeist and all the, the stuff that happens now, divorce and remarriage, all the, what about Hebrews 6, losing salvation? All this stuff. I mean, you as an administrator, as a professor, as a pastor, I would say, teaching your own people, this whole log cabin thing, I know what those questions are, and I know how to attack them. And that is how I'm going to teach you doctrine. That's how I'm going to teach you biblical languages. That's how I'm going to teach you Old Testament, New Testament. I am going to put these questions in the crosshairs, and we are going to attack them so that you are competent in all these ways. And it might be 200 things. Who knows what it is? But nobody does this. You hand out a syllabus. Here's X number of pages because the accrediting committee says I have to assign this number of pages. I have to assign this number of assignments so that it takes you X number of hours outside the classroom to satisfy the accreditation, requirements, so that we can legitimately offer 3 credits for this course. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That is what higher education really, again, has devolved into. Seat time, out of class time, filling up your time, taking your time with reading and writing. And again, yes, it's important to be able to write a competent research paper because that's a reflection of how you think. It's a reflection of how your ability to use language. I get that. All I'm saying is there's so much wasted time and effort in the way things are done now. And again, mea culpa. I mean, I've been part of this, which is why it irritates me so much now that pastors get out there and, they put in the time.
Yep.
They put in the time and they accumulated the debt. And now what do you got? Can you think well? If I showed you the 100 questions now, could you get 20 of them?
And I think what you're getting at there too is it's not just one class. We don't offer one class that's just hard questions of the Bible or hard questions, theological conundrums.
There is a point to why you're reading this. There is a point to why I'm asking you to go find this in terms of research. You need to be able to find information. You need to be able to think well about it. And you need to have lots of things in the can so that when this comes up, in the course of a sermon, a congregation, a meeting, whatever it is, you have been down that road before. You have a certain level of competence to be able to speak about whatever it is you're being asked. But we don't do that. It's scattershot. It's expensive scattershot is what it is.